98.
Tonight on the 98% Arm Wrestling podcast, we're going to be talking about COVID. I'm Ryan Grondin, and everyone introduce yourselves.
I'm Josh Vinikoor.
I'm Matt Glaser.
I'm Ray Rahim.
I'm Dan Bound.
That was not bad for 6 takes before this.
Like literally.
We got to keep that in there, though.
Yeah, we'll leave that in. But the purpose of tonight's conversation is to discuss COVID and how it's affected arm wrestling and sports and mental health and going to the gym and working out. So we're just going to kind of leave this as an open forum, and everybody's just going to put their 2 cents in and just see where this goes. So who wants to kick it off?
Dan, you were talking about your gym stuff.
At first, it depended on where you lived. I actually got lucky. My area wasn't as populated like Philly, and I know Jersey. They shut down pretty early and stayed down for a while just because of the population. Even for the couple months that I missed, it sucked. It was tough, especially someone that does it daily. You couldn't even go buy stuff because the prices were insane. You couldn't buy weights on Facebook Marketplace, and it definitely took a toll on a lot of people. Arm wrestlers, I feel like, had a bit of an advantage because a lot of guys have a home setup, like a cable on a table. So, I found myself doing a lot more arm wrestling stuff than weightlifting. So, I at least filled the void in a way. I couldn't do a lot of weightlifting stuff, so I was bummed out, but it certainly affected big time. I know some people that were going nuts, not being able to do anything. Mental health, absolutely. That's a big thing no one thinks about.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much I needed equipment in my house. I was, I always had a couple of resistance bands and some adjustable dumbbells, and I was like, when COVID hit, and then my gyms got shut down, I was like, what the hell am I going to do to work out? I started doing band workouts and stuff, and I was like, oh, this sucks. Luckily, my dad actually gifted me for my birthday all his plates, his Olympic plates, which was 200 and some pounds worth of Olympic plates.
It's pretty cool, Dad.
Yeah,
that would cost you $500 now.
Yeah, and he was like, I can give this to you, and whatever. At least I know it's in the family kind of thing. And then I started kind of making pulley systems, into the beams and just kind of creating stuff. And
right?
Yeah. Like you said, Dan. I started doing a lot more arm wrestling training than I've ever done in my arm wrestling, ever.
Especially some people are unemployed. Some people had I worked part-time for halfway through, and I worked 3 days a week. I did nothing but work out, but it wasn't the right kind of workout. It was at home, so it was better than nothing, but I had nothing to do. So absolutely, I trained my ass off for that first 6-8 months.
Damn, I had a kidney stone.
Did you really?
Kidney stone?
I had a fucking kidney stone, dude. So I couldn't train at all. Right when around COVID happened, I had this fucking pain for months and months, and no health insurance. Working, painting, doing what I do, and fucking sucked, dude. But I did end up building my first table, because of COVID. Gyms were closed and stuff, and yeah. So I totally feel you on the equipment part, and
Well, now hold on though. Did it pass okay?
Well, see, here's an interesting thing.
It's still there, man. It's still there.
Inquiring minds want to know.
It was 10 millimeters. And
yikes.
The pain is from because it's sharp. It's shaped like a little moon rock, And my girl's grandmom, she pretty much told me about something called chanca piedra, which is
I've heard of it.
It's a Peruvian herb. You can buy it in a tea, a pill form, any of that. And I took about 800 milligrams twice a day with a lot of water and lemon, and it passed. Yeah. And the doctors actually had me on Flomax before that, and that killed my testosterone like crazy. I know that because I was really lethargic. I had no energy, no desire to work out, no desire to do anything. It was horrible. It completely like fucked with my body. And when I came off of it, it just, I felt so much better when I wasn't on that shit. So that Chankapidra is actually like a fucking miracle. But
now, does that help to pass it, or does it help to like break it down?
Yeah, what Flomax is supposed to do is relax the muscles like in your like
urethra,
groin and all. Yeah, exactly. So that the thing has a easier time to pass. But the Chankapidra does it, and it's just from like some plant that's right by the water or the ocean or whatever. So
what a coincidence.
Yeah,
I've been waiting all day to use the word urethra.
All right,
thank you for the opportunity.
In the first 10 minutes of this call, we used the word urethra twice.
Success.
I had a narrow urethra. My name's Hank Hill. Oh God, that's great.
It's like a pressure washer.
Oh
man.
Let's call you Mr. PSI.
Yeah. How about you, Matt? Did it affect you in any ways?
As far as working out, or it's look, my memory's not great about a lot of things, but
what's the hair loss?
Yeah. Well, the way I remember it, I worked the whole time.
Yeah.
So I kept the same job. I was fixing machines, and hospitals had to have their printers fixed, and it's not a glorious job, and nobody's going to remember that I did it, but I had to do it the whole fucking time. So
yeah.
So I stopped going to the gym proper some years ago. I used to be more into bodybuilding and stuff, and I started to work up towards a decent deadlift and things of that nature. But I kind of quit because I got this tweak in my back one time. I deadlifted and it never went away, and it's never felt right. And I stopped being able to deadlift heavy, and that's what I really like being able to do.
Well, you're an arm wrestler, so no one gives a shit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter now. Doesn't matter now.
Don't skip.
I've stopped myself because I was beat up doing that. The decent deadlift I had is gone.
Yeah,
it's like the rich person reward.
Just like your youth.
Yeah. That was
wow.
That was some years ago though, when I was really deadlifting heavy and stuff. Well, heavy.
Right.
But yeah, so I having to go to a commercial gym really it didn't affect me. And I was up to that point, I was like probably a year into arm wrestling when this started happening. And then we laid off practices and everything. So it's kind of like I was a fledgling arm wrestler that wasn't any good. And anything I gained in that first year really kind of receded pretty quick. Because I still hadn't had my workout down really well. Before that, I was more into like doing a lot of sledgehammer workouts, just smashing shit because I find it fun. It's good for cardio and stuff. Just kind of a weird thing I do. But I don't know. Eventually, we started going back to practices, and I sucked, and I still suck. But I don't think I suck as bad as the layoff from when we came back from the layoff from COVID. So that's mainly what I noticed, was that it's just like you can't arm wrestle because everybody's afraid. I mean, I was at a practice where like 6 guys got sick.
Yeah.
And I gripped up with most of them.
Yeah. And you didn't get it?
No, apparently I didn't. I've probably had this shit in me. I mean, like I said, I've been in hospitals and stuff, but I never noticed any symptoms. I've been lucky. So
yeah.
I was curious how a lot of people found practices like myself. I moved out to Pottsville, away from every arm wrestling team out there. No more Allentown. So it's like, without practices around, I was curious how everyone managed to, get it in. Like, how do you get table time in when either your guys aren't practicing, or very minimal guys are willing to practice? Or, for me, I had everyone knows here Chuck Bardo, who's 20 minutes down the road. Just me and him pulled every weekend. It wasn't anything crazy, but that got us through a couple weeks, month or two, just because there's not much going on.
And now you guys are best friends.
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great to have that guy. I didn't quite have a guy like that. I hadn't really gotten involved with Berger or even Clint at that point in time, or the enemy line team down here. But
being new, that was a bad time to be new because you didn't have that circle yet.
Yeah, we just had the Frederick team, and it was kind of, none of them were close, and I wasn't really very social in the the whole mix of things at the time. So wasn't really anybody to latch on. I wasn't proactive about that. I was too busy drinking, honestly. I drank a lot during COVID in the evenings. So
Yeah.
Mental health.
Yeah. That kind of goes into that. Yeah, it was an excuse, right? You know, like, oh, the world's going to shit. You can.
Was it true that you had a lot of hair before COVID? The stress and the drinking.
Yeah, just
wreaked havoc on that hairline.
I could tell a difference in you when you started, you know, having these lash outs at Dave Shell.
No, you just, you know, now listen, okay. I just try to be patient, and some nights I'm not patient. That's all, you know.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
That was always there.
Did you write more music? Because a lot of people don't know that's your song.
Yeah, that 98% song is awesome, dude.
Yeah, like so you didn't write much during that time with the downtime. You just drank.
No, well, primarily being a vocalist. I program stuff sometimes, but usually I have a group of musicians I work with. I've known the guitarist since 3rd grade, and it's just something we can't get away from, doing songs every once in a while. We've had bands under various names, different styles, and but yeah, none of that was really happening too much. You know, it's kind of slowed down over the years anyway, but yeah, that 98% song, I've never really written anything like that. That was fun. So.
It's good. Cool. Yeah. A lot of people enjoy that.
Yeah.
But again, that beat, that's a beat I basically licensed, you know. So I didn't write that. I wrote all of the vocals and did all the mixing of the vocals and stuff. So
came out good.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm still waiting for my royalties, you know, but
yeah.
You'll be waiting for a really long time.
We'll play it at the tournament. Because now we got 2 98 songs, because Mark Giovanetti wrote a song as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to come up with another one so you have some flavor, but it'd be cool if eventually something else gets in the mix. But you know,
I mean, it'll get to a point where we have a tournament and we just play a whole bunch of 98% songs on loop.
Be cool. That way you don't have to.
Right, a live band just singing 98% songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't feel like COVID affected me mentally much, because I don't like people anyway. So like having to not go out and interact with people was like right down my alley. Like I'm just
the lack of traffic was nice.
I was just thinking, man, that was sick, because I drive hundreds of miles.
Yep. The traffic was awesome.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that even now it's still difficult to find some gym equipment online and weights and stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It has not recovered.
Not triple in price. Everyone's gouging the shit out of it, even though gyms are open.
Yep. I had to start buying styrofoam ones for my video so that I look stronger than I am.
It's weird what you're saying about like not being used to people. Like everyone likes getting away from people. Now that like I'm going out more, I'll be in the store and someone's like, you know, less than 6 feet away from me, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, don't you know? Like, I got so used to people being so far away from me.
You're in my bubble. You like assault people that come in within 6 feet of you.
Dude, I do feel like when people have masks though in a store, they're so much ruder. Like every time I say like in the supermarket, like, oh, excuse me, like, you know, I gotta get this, or like, oh, sorry, you know, like they just don't say anything to me. I'm just like, is it kind of like the whole, like when you're in your own car and like you drive like an asshole and like you think you're in your own bubble? You know, is that a bubble too when people have a mask on?
Also, because I feel like everyone makes those little, like, you know, like that gesture, like the smile. You don't see that. So you can't tell if they're reacting.
Right.
Everybody just appears threatening.
They're staring dead at you, but they are doing the little, you know, hey, excuse me.
I still smile when I get pictures taken with a mask on. I still smile.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Unnecessary.
And I look like a crazy person. I'm just staring at them. They don't know I'm smiling.
Behind the mask, you're just like,
what's that? Try to make my eyes crinkle a little.
Yeah, so it looks like a smiley.
Oh God.
Dude, I do that with my daughter, because if we're somewheres where we have to have masks on, she judges our facial expressions by our eyes, because you can't see if I'm smiling or not. And like if I just like squint, she thinks I'm smiling and she'll start laughing.
You just got to make a face on the mask of you smiling. Just wear that.
She laughs at me more when the mask is off than when it's on. You know, that's a given.
Yeah.
See, I don't know about you guys, but like, having practice every week is kind of like, a mental health thing for me. Because it's like, it gives me something to look forward to every week.
Right.
And like that time when we didn't have practice, like in the beginning of COVID, you know what I mean? Like, it was draining. Because I was like, what do I do every week?
The only person I missed through like this whole COVID thing was my mentor, Steven Rosenblum. Like I had a hard time not spending time with him.
Not paying for practice.
Not paying $5 for practice every week. Like I was like, where's all this money coming from?
Ryan hung a $5 bill on the wall in memoriam.
You just have so much more discretionary income after you stop going to that practice.
Oh shit, that's great.
That's awful.
That's terrible. I mean, without COVID, we probably wouldn't be here right now with this 98%.
Good point.
I agree.
Yeah, because that kind of triggered us to like do some different things to stay busy.
Yeah. I mean, I would tell like, since we can't all meet all the time, since like things are more limited, practice more limited, what I mean? Like this whole thing gave us like an outlet.
Yeah.
Like that is something to look forward to every week when you can't, because really practice is, I mean, a part of it's the arm wrestling itself, like the adrenaline rush from actually pulling. But the other part is just the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
Most people do that and not compete.
Yeah.
They do the practicing and don't compete more than once a year.
Yeah.
Some people make fun of our little, Zoom chats that we have that we just open it to the public, but all of us have gotten a lot closer from them, just like getting on like this and just talking,
Many people in here I've met once or twice, but I've been Zoom and call enough. I feel like they're actually a friend that I know a lot about when I barely ever met them.
Oh, I don't feel like that about you at all.
We talk on the phone all the time. Don't kid everybody. We talk all the time, Ryan.
That's hilarious.
That is true. But yeah, this was actually Ray's idea to do a chat about COVID.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll tell you what, like I started with Steve, and then I told Ed about it, and Ed started coming, and then it's like it felt like we just started to like do like tournaments and all that kind of stuff, and then COVID happened, and obviously that was like a chessboard, and suddenly it was like upheaved, and now suddenly like everyone's life is like majorly altered. So with arm wrestling, I noticed that we had to do it a little more on the DL, especially like when COVID just started, because just like with anything, it's like gonna kill off certain people. It's not gonna kill off certain people, and a lot of it kind of smelled like propaganda to me, even from like day one. So people like Steve, Ed, Henny, whoever else came to like, I think you came once or twice, and then we started having it more and more, like we have it at Brian's clubhouse and stuff. And it was cool. It was really cool, to not have to wear a mask and all that stuff. And then I guess arm wrestling started blowing up bigger and bigger and bigger. And I watched it progress. I watched it, Ryan, when I met you, dude, you were a crazy dildo wielding just troll. And it was great. It was awesome, and still is. And I watched.
He still is a crazy dildo wielding.
Not much has changed.
He's like a grown up almost.
Yeah. But I mean, I watched you like progress, and build this thing that
not on the table though. He hasn't progressed.
Just not on the table.
Well, no, he can't ruin the brand. He can't ruin the brand.
Yeah.
You gotta stick to your guns there. Yeah, you gotta be the worst, man. If you're not the worst, then
that's brand recognition, man.
The original brand, the worst arm wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Who here has had COVID? Not to cut you off. I'm just curious. Who's had it?
I can't say. I have.
I don't think I have.
Yeah,
I think a couple weeks before it even happened, my boss was feeling funny. Then my girl was feeling funny, and then I didn't feel funny at all, but they both did. And this was like 2 weeks before like anyone was even thinking about like lockdown or anything like that.
They say a lot of people had it like the month before, but just didn't know. So it was over. Like everyone had that weird cough, kind of lung, upper respiratory thing that probably was COVID, but people were getting it 3 months before that, not knowing.
Yeah, that's very likely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people started thinking about it like, when the lockdowns happened, because now suddenly, they're getting the scoop and they're getting it from the media, and then
every symptom of every disease was whole COVID, allergies.
COVID,
every symptom for allergies and a cold, I must be COVID. Like the flu went away. Every generic, disease became COVID then.
Dude, people would die in a car accident and they'd be like, "Oh, he had COVID 6 months ago. That's a COVID death."
So, that's a COVID death.
That's the thing is not to get too technical about it, but like nobody really dies from COVID. They die from complications from COVID. It's like
from COVID.
It's generally like pneumonia or asthma, all that shit contributes to it. COVID itself isn't that bad.
Right. Like underlying issues.
Right.
But it's kind of irritates me a little bit. Like they now, when you get vaccinated, now you can have free Krispy Kreme donuts for a year or whatever.
Right.
And it's like
insanity.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah. They're. It's like you get to go to Krispy Kreme for free if you show them your vaccination card.
What?
Okay.
Seriously.
Dude, there goes my diet.
I'm getting vaccinated right now.
Yeah, right.
Well, no,
Krispy Kreme.
I'm gonna get vaccinated twice.
Well, no, I'll tell you this. So I got vaccinated because we're on Disney World, with my girlfriend and her family,
right? And
they just want to make sure we're all good. We're all vaccinated. Just kind of a mental sanity thing. We're and the lady was like, "Hey, just show your card at Krispy Kreme and you get free donuts and all that." And I'm just thinking like a lot of the underlying issues from COVID come from obesity.
Yeah,
eating donuts.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, why are we promoting that instead of like promoting like eating healthy, taking vitamin D, like what I mean? Like little things like, that
Why didn't Salad Works do that?
Boost your immunity.
No, like
Salad Works. Who the fuck goes to Salad Works?
I love Salad Works. Actually,
I don't even have that where I'm at. I'm so
like Krispy Kreme's was like, we'll do it, but no fucking healthy options did it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's backwards.
You would have thought Wawa stuff in.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a gas card.
Exactly. Free gas. I was just gonna say.
What if they go out of business because of this? People just start showing up and there's a little line around the block for a fucking free donut.
Ryan comes back in with a different hat, different mustache. Oh, hello.
Right.
You can just have
I've been vaccinated like multiple times, so I have different cards.
You got to do it like comic book dude from Simpsons. Go in there.
See,
one of everything you have. I will be back in 40 more times.
The thing is with Grondin is that he always says I blame him for everything.
It's true.
But you are the kind of fucking guy that would do that. What we just said.
He's admitted to much worse. Much worse. Like with
maybe
with
as a joke, dude. As a joke.
Exactly.
But not because I fiend donuts.
No, I'm not saying that.
I look like I would fiend donuts, but
I'm not trying to imply that. I'm trying to say you like a good fucking crazy joke, my friend.
Yeah, but how many times have you been disproven when you blame me for something?
Not.
And if anybody wants to know about what Ryan's done that's worse, if anybody wants to know about what Ryan's done that's worse, they can come on our after hours calls that are unrecorded.
Yeah. I was right about the Dave Shell foot powder situation.
So yes, you were. You know what? I just.
Wait, what is this? What happened?
We'll
after hours.
I'll tell you after off the air.
Or we'll just edit that part anyway. So
we need Ray's opinion. We need Ray's opinion on this.
We can't go too far into stuff like that.
Matt, you have it on you right now. I know you do. You got it right at your reach.
Well, I still have the menthol foot powder. I haven't tried it. I don't think that would be safe.
I know.
All right, next topic of conversation.
Next topic.
Exactly.
Oh God.
Next topic. If they're dead, is it still rape? Right, Ryan? That was what we wanted to have.
Again, next topic.
Right, yeah.
But if you did rape them, would you die from COVID?
If they had, what if
they had COVID,
if they had COVID while alive, does it
even a necro would have to like think twice now.
You know? How long does the virus survive?
Right.
That's the things we got to know.
Yeah. Like if they just died and it's within like a half hour, can you still get COVID from the body?
Or is it like swimming? You got to wait.
This is what we need to
cut all this out.
Dude, you're about to lose
I'm
20 minutes
here. This is the stuff that people want to hear.
Yeah,
it is.
This actually would be entertaining. I just don't know if it's
just cover our sponsors.
We lose all sponsors. Yeah,
for real.
They actually take money from us. We owe them money.
Yeah. All right.
All right. All right.
So back to COVID.
Back to COVID. Yeah.
Like, do you guys know anybody who literally like had like a mental breakdown from it?
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people have, but you know, I
knew someone.
You see these stories of like kids like committing suicide because they're not in school, and
I knew someone that did, at least through Facebook. You know, they had mental issues. COVID made it worse, and then they ended up killing themselves. So it wasn't a personal interaction I had with them. I saw it on Facebook, and you know, that was what it was kind of chalked up as: mental health. They couldn't interact with people the way they used to, and they didn't have their support groups, which honestly, you know, I'm a big advocate for that kind of stuff. Like, I was in the military. I saw a lot of guys that need that. They really do. Like,
some people like need social interaction to be okay.
Yeah, and it can be through Zoom calls. They should have had AA meetings, you know, drug addiction, all that. I don't know. Maybe they did, but like, I feel like it should have been out there more for support groups on Zoom. You know, join the 98%. Come on our Zoom.
Come on our Zoom. We'll talk to you.
We'll listen to you. Like, that's really
absolutely, man.
Like, cool. A lot of people get on that don't even know us, and they get to know us.
We'll get them in arm wrestling.
Yeah, you don't have to be an arm wrestler. Like, just get on the page, and you know, a lot of people I didn't know before this, and who knows, maybe some people in our group needed that interaction that they'll never tell us. But you know, it's nice to have it. You know, some people truly will go nuts without it.
We may have saved a few lives that we don't even know about.
Or ruined a few. You don't know.
See, I'm the kind of person that like all I want sometimes is just to like not do anything for a day, just binge watch TV, eat junk food.
Hell yeah.
That's me every day.
I get so bored though. And like, you know, just like doing that for like a day or two, like I can't do it anymore. I don't know how people like quarantine in their house for weeks and weeks and months on end.
Yeah.
Like I literally get like antsy. Like I need to go out just to do something. Just to like.
I think a lot of people found themselves doing shit that they normally wouldn't do, like clean that or fix that, or you know, like I don't know, learn a new skill.
The honeydew list tripled. You know,
like as dumb as it is, like I would go down the gas station and like purposely try to like just start a conversation with the cashier for like 2 seconds because I'm like, that was nice. Like I had a conversation.
Just being real awkward.
Dude, I always try to be super nice to like if I'm going through like a drive-through or something. I'm like excessively nice, and you can tell at first they don't want that, but then they eventually get into it, and then you see them another time and they're like, hey sweetie, you know, like they remember the interaction.
And it's a guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you go to McDonald's 6 times a day, they're like, hey Ryan. You know?
Aren't you the worst?
Yeah, right. Right this way, Mr. I don't even need to order. They're like, right this way, Mr. Grondin.
They give you the Burger King crown.
Yeah,
you go to Burger King.
Like Dan, I'm sure you can relate to this, but like when you go to the gym, like even if you did nothing else that day, but like went to the gym, you didn't have to talk to anybody at the gym. You just went to the gym. At least you feel like you did something that day.
Yeah.
Right. Some days, and that's why I like the arm wrestling part, because there's days I'm just wrecked. Every body part I've hit this week. I'll go and do some arm wrestling stuff just to be out. Listening to music is a big thing. I won't listen to music sitting around my house, but it's nice when I go to the gym. I have a reason to. I'll put on some metal, mentally unwind from, not doing anything, which is stressful to me personally. and like just get it out, and then I go home and I could not talk to anybody and feel better. Like you said, I did something that day rather than watching binge watching Game of Thrones like I've been. Shit like that.
Which is a great show, by the way.
Awesome show.
Good show. That's our future.
HBO Max, so I'm binging. I watch Mortal Kombat, Godzilla. I'm going at it.
I'm ready for zombies too.
You're getting all of that HBO Max subscription.
Oh yeah, I've had it for a week and I've spent at least 20 hours watching stuff.
Wow.
Insane.
No, I like put it on Netflix and I'm like, there's nothing I haven't seen. This is stupid.
I got rid of Netflix and got HBO. Not that I can't afford both, but
Right.
I have every single streaming thing out there. I know I got like 4 of them.
You got that extra $7.99 a month.
That was
Damn.
that was a dig at Matt because Matt's poor.
Oh, I have to pick and choose which ones I have that month. So, right now I got HBO Max and Hulu, but I gotta pick between.
He gets the 7-day free trial.
Then he switches.
In
He
before it runs
cancels
out.
on day 7.
I can't buy everything at once.
Yeah.
Well, Matt,
Who has the time?
you ever
Jesus.
want to use anything?
I don't even watch TV that much.
Well, my passwords are yours. If you ever want to watch something, Matt, I got you. I'll
See?
give you all my passwords.
Look at the connection made through this.
Well, that's
You binge watch
The 98%
binge watch all you want.
passwords
It's on
and
me,
all.
buddy.
Watch some Netflix rep
Dude.
sees this and he's like, he fucking runs.
Did you guys just become best
Sharing.
friends?
It's
You
just
see a
all.
bunch of Hitler documentaries on
It's
his
just all.
Netflix?
It's just all anime and Hitler documentaries.
You guys, dude, you guys have so much in common already. Like you both have an affinity for wife beaters.
For white beaters, right? We're white trash, man. It's all good.
I don't know why I do, but I do. It's true. Can't lie.
I don't even own one. I don't even own that kind of tank top.
Well, you couldn't pull it off, Josh. Just
Yeah.
We're facilitating these kinds of connections.
I just look like an essay if I wear one.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
what's up,
serious.
man?
The 5-paragraph one?
Do people like come up to you and start speaking Spanish sometimes?
All the time.
Yeah. A kid I worked with,
especially when I lived in Reading. I didn't
Reading.
live
Oh
in
yeah,
Reading.
everyone there just speaks Spanish.
yeah.
I lived in Exeter,
Yeah.
and I lived in Mount Penn, and I lived in Muhlenberg. But I only lived in Reading for 2 months out of the 12 years I lived in Berks County.
Hold on, wait, you're not Spanish?
All the time. No, I'm from Afghanistan.
I know, I'm kidding. I know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you knew. But yeah, all the time, dude. I either get that or Indian. So whenever I see Indian people, it's oh Chahadi Tige or whatever, and I'm like, what? I'm like,
Like America.
I don't care what it is. It's definitely anti-commie.
Right.
I can't deal with all that.
Yeah.
That's no.
So Ray's from Afghanistan, which just made our podcast worldly.
Yeah.
Dude, I swear I am the only Afghan person in the whole arm wrestling period. Like I have not.
There's gotta be other Afghan
Doesn't Khalil have a little Afghan in him?
I don't know what
He's half Afghan.
Is he
yes,
half?
He is.
But
half Afghan.
but that's
So
like
he's
his.
half.
That's
Yeah.
like the-
what I
retarded
mean
half.
is like I went full retard on you. Sorry.
No, I mean him
No.
specifically.
I'm talking like an Afghan community.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Of like, you know how like you have like Sikh arm wrestlers, you have like, obviously like, like Black, Hispanic, like different teams and stuff.
Yeah.
In Afghanistan, there's nothing from what I understand. They're
Really?
just all bodybuilding. Yeah, it's just all
Yeah.
bodybuilding. That's all they like.
Well, they can
Are they
walk into
good
the
at
store and
bodybuilding?
just buy steroids.
That's
It's all
something
legal.
you also
Yeah.
do, though, right?
Yeah, I did that. I guess I technically still do.
Right, let's see that peak. I've been seeing them biceps there. Let's see that peak
Yeah,
there.
buddy.
Peak check.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Not bad.
All right.
It's all right. Okay.
What's your weight class?
I fluctuate between like 147 and 155.
Ah,
So you're always there for that class.
Past that, fourth
I
grade.
guess, yeah. Past that, I start to look like obese and overweight. I've got pretty small insertions and all that.
Unfortunately, I'm 2 of those, just about.
Hey, that's not unfortunate. Shit.
I look like I ate an entire Ray.
Yeah, you could probably dominate my hand pretty easy right now. I'm out of practice.
I don't know. It's
I
Ryan.
still do my little.
No,
I still do my little
don't
like
practice.
stuff, but
Actually,
well,
at the
Ryan's
last
got to be the
tournament,
worst.
at the last tournament, when Roger showed you a couple tricks, dude, that felt good.
Yeah, Roger Bailey's the man. Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, he definitely showed me how to kind of use join my neck and my wrist, like together.
Yeah.
And that's like when I started doing that and like kind of throwing my elbow forward and just leaning back. He's like,
difference.
he worked on it with me for like a good 5 minutes, and he's a real like good explainer. He can explain things really well.
He's a good dude.
Clicked. Yeah, real nice guy. I haven't had much exposure here and there, but that the last time was that time, and I was like, damn, this guy's legit.
Yeah.
And
Not
that's
that
how
I didn't
felt.
think he was before.
He just went to work out with Michael Todd and wore our 98% shirt, which was freaking awesome. So that was cool.
Sweet.
Thanks, Roger.
Yeah. Good dude.
And for a lot of us, especially Philly practice, we were at the Port Bar and Grill practice. Vinikoor, he's the kind of guy too. Like I worked with him for 5 minutes, felt great. Like I know Ryan can say all the time, like that's another person.
And then I forget everything he taught me, and the next practice I suck again.
You kind of have to, that is tricky. You got to reinforce things. So
yeah.
I always tell people it's like if you remember like 5% of what like you were taught to practice every week, you'll be pretty good.
Right.
The thing about practice where I'm at is it's not really teachers too much. Like really, honestly, from our group, Berger is the one who picks up on things the quickest. But he's also not some big veteran teacher. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's not there to hold my hand. He's just a strong
dude.
So. What's that?
You don't need a big veteran teacher. Just someone who has a good arm wrestling IQ.
Yeah.
Someone that can like see things and understand them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think mostly our practices are we're getting better, and I mean he's a very insightful person, I would say. But I mean we just have big strong arms to pull on, basically, and it damages you. And I don't know how much technique I learned, but
that's something. Yeah, you're at least increasing your tendon durability, and that's the difference between people teaching people
Gentlemen,
and teaching
can I show you
them.
something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You need one of these.
What is that?
It's an ultrasound machine.
An ultrasound
machine. Dude, after you told me that you had that, I kind of looked into it. I heard there's some good stuff about it.
Yeah, I used to work at a chiropractor office.
What do you do with it?
Oh, we lost Ray.
I mean, you can ultrasound anything. I've had my nutsack ultrasound before because someone kicked me there and it swelled up like a cantaloupe. And they ultrasounded it and they were like, you're fine. And it eventually went down. But there's a lot of things you can do with that.
You just got to learn how to read it.
I'm back. Yeah, it's an ultrasound machine. I used to work at a chiropractor office years ago. Went to school for massage therapy. And you used to have a prescription for one of these, but no longer. And I just discovered that recently, and I was like,
"That's cool.
What the fuck? Like seriously?" And it's only a few $100. So I went ahead and got it. I got some of the gel. It's this stuff. It's water based. It's the conduction gel. I got a case just for the fuck of it.
Give one of those to Dave Shell.
Yeah, but no, this thing is freaking amazing. You put it on any part of your body. You can't turn the intensity up too high. You can put it on pulsation or continuous, and as long as you keep it moving the whole time, you don't burn the top of the bone, because these sound waves can burn you if you don't keep it in perpetual motion. Oh, wow. So I'll be bringing this to the tournament to work on a few people.
That's cool. Yeah.
Cool.
So tendon, ligaments, all that kind of stuff. It'll definitely fix you right up.
Start taking appointments, man.
I might make you fix my wrist.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, if anyone, you could throw me a small little fee and I'll work on you for 10, 15 minutes. You'll feel the difference. It's fucking amazing.
I got a little issue right here. I want to use that for.
Yeah. It'll fix that right up.
Huh.
So
that's awesome.
This is the same one that the pros use. So
very unique. Thing to have, to know how to do it too.
Also, I picked up one of these. I recommend for you guys. It's a TENS unit. stim.
I was going to say that's what it reminded me of, the way you were describing it.
Well, this is something else. This is a really powerful one. You can pick this up on Amazon for like $70.
I've used one. They're nice. They're awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you're only as good as your recovery, and I feel like I'm one of the biggest advocates for recovery. Around, because I do martial arts and I do lift as well, and I paint a lot. That's a pretty physically demanding thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, often at practice, you're off on the side, like working someone over to help them out to recover or find out where their injuries like originating from. Yeah, which is cool. Yeah.
So definitely, invest in one of those. If you got a few $100 to spare, you can get them on Amazon. A lot of people, they might know about them, but they don't want to wait the 6 weeks to 2 months for one.
Yeah.
It comes directly out of India, and I don't even know how that's going to work right now. Probably okay, but again, COVID, right. I got this right before India
shut down.
Went COVID nuts. Yeah, shut down. So.
Don't we stop flights like today or tomorrow? They're
I don't know.
Shutting down flights from there. Yeah.
I have no idea. But here's the
travel
thing.
ban.
Here's the thing that really gets me concerned. Okay. You got all these Muslim people disappearing in China, supposedly having their organs harvested. You don't hear anything about COVID from China anymore. I mean, you haven't heard shit about COVID from China lately.
9 months. Yeah.
In 9 months. And now all of a sudden it's from India. It's like, well, who do you think they want to depopulate?
Brown people.
I mean, really. Hey, man,
there's mysteriously a new strain there too. Like,
right.
New strain there, new strain in South Africa, a new strain.
China's sneaky, man.
It's the government just releasing this shit.
They don't have to tell you anything. Like they control it. They control what gets out.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. No doubt. Scary. I think it's going to be like that here eventually in a milder manner, but I think it's coming.
I have to admit, I know a lot of guys know I got a puppy a little bit ago, and it's a Chinese Shar Pei. And my girlfriend went in, and I was just like, I don't know about this. This is too convenient that she's here.
Is that a commie dog?
I got a commie dog.
People are throwing rocks through your windows.
She is cute,
Get that
though.
commie dog out of here.
China virus.
China virus. Yeah. Came from China.
China.
That's great.
China.
This was a good idea, though. We should do things like this more often on a random topic.
For sure.
Yeah. You're the one that has to edit it, so I don't care. Yeah. You got to sort through all the things you can't say.
I regret inviting you.
Well, yeah, like any of that's my fault.
Well, how long has this been on for?
An hour?
It was like not quite. Like 45 minutes. Yeah. 45 minutes about.
I'm trying to think if there's anything involving COVID that we didn't touch on that
yeah.
I got something. So a couple of weeks ago I was hanging out with, Ed, Ed goes
Samurai Ed.
Samurai Ed. And good name. We were hanging out and I was, scrolling through my Instagram feed and I see something from John Dabo,
Yeah.
And it's some nurse talking about how she had multiple periods in 1 month. And if you're around vaccinated people, they emit these like synthetic spike proteins that your body's now going to produce. And it like screws up men's like testosterone and it makes women's like, I guess their cervixes or their uterus is falling out. Like they shed like this like tissue or it's crazy. Well, apparently, and right away I dismissed it. I was like, this is misinformation. This is crazy.
Right.
Apparently it's true. Apparently a lot of these women are like having miscarriages, being infertile, all that stuff, and they're unvaccinated. And it's happening apparently from being around people that are vaxxed.
It's weird.
I don't know if you guys heard of anything like this, but
I heard there was
I didn't even feel it.
I mean, there's some people that are into like a prolapsed uterus.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
I didn't even feel any different when I was vaccinated, though. I didn't have any like symptoms that day or the next day. I didn't have any.
You're young and virile, though. So I mean,
I am virile. Yes,
he said virile.
Dude. Well, if there's anyone out there that I don't like that hasn't been vaccinated, I'm just gonna go stand near them.
You're just rubbing arms with people.
Dude, like now we have a superpower.
Right.
Like you just go stand near people that aren't vaccinated. They have all
And
kinds
just
of-
their
When did
uterus
you
is
find out that
dropped
the vaccine gives you a superpower, like some random superpower?
Right.
You
Would
wouldn't
you
even
get
have
it?
to do that. You wouldn't even have
Yeah.
to do that, Grondin, because if any of what Ray's saying is true,
I mean, apparently
you won't be able to get
I
away
don't
from it.
know, but
You won't be able to get away
yeah,
from it.
yeah.
I mean, it's
But
going to
what's-
happen to you.
What's your superpower? I can prolapse a uterus.
right. Instead of Ryan having
I can trigger periods.
he has the Unabomber. He's the uterine bomber now.
I do the Pfizer maneuver.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh man.
Fucking hope that stuff's not true. I don't know what to say about that.
I mean, my uterus is fine, so I'm not too worried myself. But,
Like should
I know you were having some uterus issues last week, though. So
well, no worry, they passed. I'm good, guys.
okay. All right.
now should we kidnap someone who's not vaccinated and stand near them and test this?
Why would you have to
Me
kidnap
and
them
you,
for
Ryan,
that?
we'll just
You
stand
can
right
do
on
that.
side by side.
Just
That's true.
grab
You may
someone.
not have to kidnap them.
You can do it
That's
at
true.
like Sheetz or Wawa, but we can kidnap
It's like
them.
if we find out someone at practice is not vaccinated, you just pull them a little longer.
Circle up.
Yeah, pull them for a little bit longer just to see, and you're just like waiting for something to happen.
Yeah,
Just ask tomorrow.
that's a point. If that does happen, arm wrestling is the number one surefire way to spread that.
Yeah.
Because
So like
any female arm wrestlers out there, you never know.
right, you're gripped up, and you're just like, "Are you bleeding right now?"
My uterus fell out. Well,
I just triggered that.
Yeah.
So
You
does
did
that
that.
mean we have to supply extra tampons and all that at the tournament?
We might have
No,
to.
just have a table attachment where you can like just pull them off. Pull off the
While
cover.
Ray's
Oh
doing
yeah,
that-
that's a good idea.
Ray's going to be doing ultrasounds. He can tuck the uterus back up in there.
just
That's
hand out
extra.
diapers at the door, just in case.
That's
We-
that's a
we
little
have
too, that's a
doctors
little too
coming.
extra for me.
You just
We
can't
have-
fucking help yourself.
We have some doctors coming to the event,
That's true.
so I think we're covered if there's an emergency.
Any major uterine trauma, good to
Yeah.
go.
I mean, we already have first responders at the event, We have
Right.
all the cops there, so
If
Right?
there's ever a place
I
for a
think we're
uterus to
good.
explode, it's probably there.
Yeah.
Another few minutes lost there.
That's probably not going to go into the final cut.
Somebody bring some extra buckets.
Oh my god, that's
We,
crazy.
every time a girl comes up, Ryan just puts a 5-gallon bucket under him. He's like, just stand over this.
We just hand them out at the door.
That's disgusting.
Oh. We're giving out free T-shirts, wristbands, and maxi pads.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Work for nosebleeds too.
right. Any kind of trauma.
we get customized 98%.
Maxi pads. Yeah, dude. That's a great idea. Because you could technically wear it as a mask. And then if you start your period, you take it off and you use it.
Dual purpose.
So I have a COVID related question for all of you. If I took some string and attached it to a coffee filter and walked in a store, do you think these libs would say anything to me, or would they feel safe?
What?
Like
Like
I
a
wore
coffee-
it,
like
if,
you're-
if
like you're
I take a
wearing-
coffee filter and wear it as a mask in a store.
Yeah, I think they'd feel
Did-
safe because they're idiots.
Okay,
I think
I
they'd
think
be
because
like,
I'm about to do it.
that's acceptable.
Yeah.
It's
I was-
honestly, it's probably safer than a real mask.
Yeah, really.
Probably
You know what I
safer
mean?
than a gator. I mean, those gators that I wear the gator sometimes, and it has like no.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's nothing.
It's like putting a tube sock over your head.
Well, what I read is if you can blow out a match through your mask, the mask is doing
I just picked one
Zippo.
up.
Right.
One of these guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's bullshit right there, but they let you do it.
right. Yeah, because a gator is way easier to breathe through, but
You can see through
you
it.
can easily blow out a match through a gator and most
Oh, yeah,
masks.
yeah.
So it's like if you can do that, the mask is doing nothing. So
So what about saran wrap? Like, could you walk in a store with saran wrap?
well, I'll tell you a quick story. My buddy Corey went into a store, Corey Dupree, and they told him he needed a mask, and he went out and like got like
Aluminum
the same material that like pantyhose are made out of, and put it around his thing, and they let him in. Like you could literally see his mouth, and he could breathe through it, and they let him in because he had something over his mouth.
And that's
I was
just
like,
that's
you
where
gotta
it
be
becomes
kidding me.
like political shit where it's like that shouldn't be allowed. Like,
right.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
You have a stance on it. It should at least make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, why can't you just walk around like this? Like cover your mouth with your hand.
I don't understand the whole sitting in a bar, or if you stand up to take a piss, you got to wear it. I still don't get the science behind how you're safe when you're sitting, spitting food, talking.
Well, see, I feel like a lot of it happened. Like the CDC made these guidelines, and they had this idealistic image in their head of what it's going to look like and how people are going to follow them. But in real life, it doesn't work out that way.
Right. Dude, like the tournament at Dad's Bar. If you were standing at a bar, standing at the higher, little bar tables, no mask. But you needed to wear one to stand at the same height table to arm wrestle.
Dude, I'm short and I went in to get food. I shit you not, sitting at the bar and standing, I was the same height. And I even said it to the lady. I was like, can I just walk around like I'm sitting down pretty much because I'm short? And she's like, no.
Yeah, do you remember, Ryan?
If you bring a chair, right?
Do you have a chair with wheels?
Remember, I think it was you, Ryan. We were in there
eating
chicken fingers. Yeah. And your ass was hovering over the chair. He's like, you just sit down. You're like, okay. You dropped 2 inches.
I dropped 2 inches. I was like, now I'm safe.
He's like, yeah. It was ridiculous. We're sitting there eating chicken fingies, and he's bothering us.
You got to sit down. I'm like, dude, really? I was like, okay.
That's the thing about having people who make the rules. People like you have government, you have people have to make standards, and
at the same time, it was his business, so you have to respect it too.
Yeah,
but for the record, we burned that place down that night for that. So
right.
People who make these standards, they have to project an image of authority, like
accountability.
They know what they're talking about. But this has all just been made up as you go, just like all rules. It's just
well, this was in Jersey. He was afraid a cop was going to show up in Jersey because they're crazy like that.
Or like them saying you had to be 6 feet apart. Then they said they have evidence that it can still spread 14 feet apart. And now at my wife's school, the kids can sit 3 feet apart.
Yeah.
Like,
they just made that shit up.
Which is it? Like it makes no sense.
Information changes.
The computers,
It's what can you do?
But they think like, the general public are stupid and don't realize how stupid that sounds. Like, how is it changing from 6 feet, 3 feet, 14 feet? Like, we're not idiots.
Well, that's like
obviously they have no clue what they're talking about.
They literally admitted that their death toll was way off.
Yeah.
The only way to prevent COVID 100% is to not interact with people.
Right.
If
like the flu.
The mask is just a precaution, and it helps to a degree, to a small degree.
Yeah.
And
they said from day one, it's more so that you don't give it to someone if you have it and don't know. It doesn't really protect you from getting it. So it's like if 3 people in the bar don't have masks, it's kind of pointless. Like it just doesn't make sense. If you're sitting down to eat, it just doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
I mean, at a small practice, it's not that bad to wear a mask. I mean, it really isn't.
No, it's not bad.
No, but it gets tough, when you're, like at bigger events, and you're, so it's a fine balance.
In the past, like year and a half-ish, I do find that I've been sick less, not from the mask, but from sanitizing my hands, just because it's practice. And I swear that's making a difference. Like I'm being more cognizant of not touching my face, and I'm not getting sinus infections and colds and little shit. I swear, like half as much as I would in a normal year and a half.
Now, how about those women?
You never used to wash your hands?
How about those women that have to wear the thing, like hide their face and stuff? Their life hasn't changed at all.
Nope.
Do
No.
Do they have to have a mask on under it? Like
probably not. They're like, welcome to my world.
Right. Yeah. Now they're like, how do you like it? That's awful. Hey, look who's trying to come on right now. Dave Shell.
Davey Crockett.
Ryan, let him in and then go, all right, guys, that's all we have for tonight. And then we all just get off.
Dave, do you have anything you want to wrap up this with?
Well, he wouldn't know about this since you don't include him in the chat, Ryan.
Yeah.
He just tries to get on randomly all the time.
Yeah. I know.
Like I'll be sitting on the couch and I'm not even on Zoom and I get an alert. Dave Shell tried to join the Zoom chat.
Right.
Like, oh.
Here's what we do. We all take screenshots of ourselves, upload that as our background, and just walk away.
Just wait.
See how long he goes.
He means well. He's a well-traveled man.
A well-learned dude.
I'm gonna say this, off the record, obviously. If there's one person in the beginning that I was like, this person's gonna die of COVID, it was Dave, because he went to every.
He went to a lot of practices.
Yeah,
he went to every practice. He is in very poor health, extremely poor health, bad hygiene. Motherfucker never got sick. I'm like, son of a bitch. Like,
let's wrap this up and then we can say what we want, so that there's a clear end to this podcast.
Okay, I had to get that out when we.
Does anyone have anything they want to say to conclude? Josh just ruined the whole podcast.
Oh, Josh.
I didn't just ruin the whole podcast. It's Ashley. She's over there.
She ruined the whole podcast.
But I think
anybody have final thoughts?
I think there's gonna be some editing needed to be done on this podcast.
Not at all, dude. This is perfect.
I say cut.
Good as is.
I'm not gonna cut out anything.
I just hope my dad can forgive me for not wearing a fucking mask at an arm wrestling tournament. We had this huge fucking disagreement about it. And it's like this shit. Yeah, basically. Like, because I'm a bad person now. I'm a bad person.
Well, we knew that.
Because nobody else in the tournament gave a fuck either.
Yeah.
What?
But you just hang out with the wrong crowds.
Yeah. No, I'm sure he thinks arm wrestling's retarded and everything. He listens to NPR.
He's not wrong.
Right.
This is the fucking NPR all day. He only gets to like the left side of everything. So
yeah.
Ugh.
Maybe you should stop talking to him.
Yeah, well, it used to be that way. Yeah. Anyway, that I was going to like make some like feel good point there, but
that was kind of dark.
I just
That's
started
just all sad stuff.
Yeah, this isn't the forum for you to air out your family.
This now.
Remarks.
Just cut that.
No, this is all staying in. This is good. This is what the people want to see.
Sure.
So let's have some more positive remarks.
This is what our 3 followers on YouTube want to see.
Yeah.
Speaking on that though, I did see a big divide in arm wrestling with like, if you didn't want to go to practice, that's fine. But someone else has a practice and they're like, no masks, like making that whole blasting that team like they're shitty people. But you're sitting at home. You have that choice. You don't, you're not even from the same state as them, and people are going after a team in Virginia or North Carolina, whatever. Even if they have no mask mandate, they just some people are they want everyone to agree with their view.
Well, it also goes in reverse too. With when we do practice
about doing it. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, people are like, I'm not showing up if we have to wear masks, and we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What do you do?
It certainly is both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have our reasons to wear masks in practice.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I never had a problem. Like, I'm in strange people's homes all the time, for like, jobs and stuff. And I never had a problem with them wanting me to wear a mask. But I usually tell them, like, listen, you're in your home. If we both have to wear a mask, it's like the whole condom thing. 2 people don't wear a condom for them to work. So you should theoretically be protected if I have something or if you have something, because this veneer of cloth over my face is supposed to stop any liquid. I mean, that's the whole rationale, right? I mean, so it's like, come on now.
Well, the biggest thing is the absorption is through the eyes more than anything. So it's like,
just looking at them gives you COVID.
Doesn't do it as well as they think.
Now we have to wear blindfolds.
Right. Well, like my girlfriend had to wear a regular mask, the N95 mask, the goggles, and the face shield.
Jesus.
She still got it. She still got it from a nursing home. She had 4 layers of protection, and she still got sick within the first couple weeks of having.
Definitely got it from you though.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I never got it. I was obviously around her. We lived together, and I never got it. I never got no symptoms, but I stayed home just in case. I didn't do anything.
The liberals would say, "Nah, you were asymptomatic."
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But the fact that she had all that shit and still got it, that's how you know your little mask isn't gonna stop it if someone comes in contact with you.
Yeah.
Do any of you want to throw? I was going to say, do any of you want to throw out your links to your OnlyFans pages?
Yeah. That's funny as shit. Yeah, mine is Ryan Grondin. It's my biggest fan.
Right, yeah. It's just me like massaging my feet.
Right.
No, it's me massaging your feet.
Yeah,
Ray's is
right.
gay for Ray.
Yeah, you're the
6'9",
dude.
Oh no.
The craziest thing is that someone out there is doing that and people are watching it and paying.
Oh god.
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Like I told you today, though, for Instagram, they're stopping that shit. You can't post your OnlyFans on Instagram anymore, so all the simps aren't going to be able to
There goes
find
your
it.
income.
Yeah. There's a lot of useless people's income going straight down the fucking drain.
A lot of people who
a lot
don't
of
deserve
useless
that
motherfuckers.
Right.
I mean,
It's okay. They'll join another site
Yep.
that they are allowed to post.
That's why Bevel had to get a job. Let's
end it. And then
let's end it, and then we can say whatever we want because it's going to be a bitch to edit it if we keep going. So anyway, that was our chat about COVID, and thanks all of you for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
98.